Hey guys, I'm so excited to talk to you about Only Murders in the Building Season 2, which comes to Hulu on June 28th. Now, before we dive into it, if this is your first time here, I'd love it if you take 1 second and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. Okay guys, now I loved season 1 of Only Murders in the Building. It started off a little slow for me, but then I became so interested and intrigued on who the killer was and all the twists and turns and reveals along the way that I just quickly became obsessed and pretty addicted to the show. Now I have had screeners for the first 8 episodes of season 2, which means they are holding out on the final 2 episodes as of now, which is killing me because I have like all the theories and no clue who the killer is actually going to be. Now, we know season 1 ended with the death of Bunny, and it looks like our favorite podcasters are going to be framed for this. And that is exactly what happens in season 2. Right from the start, you know, listen, they're being set up, they're being framed. There's more and more things that are starting to happen that get them more and more framed, right? Seems like the blame is really on the 3 of them. And of course, I'm talking about the dynamic trio, the incredible 3, like their personalities work so well together, which you would never think they do, of Steve Martin Short, and Selena Gomez, who just somehow perfectly fits into this trio with her dry humor. All 3 of them have fantastic comedic chemistry. I love it, and that continues throughout this season. Now, very much like the first season, it's kind of one of those, like, you have an episode where they're going to focus on someone and you think maybe that person's the killer, and then, you know, you get off of that. It's probably not the killer, that sort of thing, right? Very similar setup as the first season. Plays out sort of the same way, except really each of them has their own thing going on, okay? There's certain things that I cannot talk about because they're on a do not reveal list, but let's just say, so for Oliver, he's dealing with some personal issues that he's going through. For Charles, well, there is a reboot of Brazos in the works, which is very exciting. It's very interesting. I love that they just kind of really make fun of and mess with the idea of reboots of old shows. So that's great with Charles. And then, as many people know, with Mabel, they have brought in a love interest, a female love interest, which is very interesting. And it totally fits, and I love it. I love the journey that they're going on that I've seen so far this season. It's very interesting. So what I will say, though, is like things get a little bit more intense in this season, I feel like, than we had in the previous season. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, though, guys. It's not all a fantastic season. They brought in Amy Schumer, who just plays this, I think they even described it as like a more annoying version of herself. But she's so annoying that any scene she's in really took me out of the show, and I just would get annoyed with her. She's probably the worst part of the season for me, and I feel really bad saying that because, you know, I love to lift other women up, but like, golly, she's just very, very frustrating and very annoying throughout anytime we see her. Luckily, we don't see her too often, and she kind of falls by the wayside the further we get into the season, luckily. But, you know, every time she comes out, I kind of like roll my eyes and go, oh, here we go. Like, she's too over the top, and she's too much of this more annoying version of herself that she's just really frustrating. And there's some really crude things that come out of her mouth, surprise, at times, and it just takes away from the season. But like I said, luckily she's not in it too much because every time I saw her, I got annoyed. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's just what it was. Like, I started off all okay, like, let's do it, let's go, and then it just got worse and worse. But that being said, the season overall is very interesting. The way they're going with this, you get to see certain characters come back, many characters come back. That's very exciting to see. But then there's some fresh faces as well, which is always a lot of fun. Of course, they have their little podcast fans that follow them around, which is great to see them back and as a part of this. But it's very interesting season. I have several thoughts on who the murderer could be. I'm not going to spew them out here, of course, because I want to remain spoiler-free. But as you guys watch the season, I would love for you to come back and drop in the comments your suspicions. Like I said, I actually have no idea because I haven't seen the final 2 episodes. But I will say that I think this season is better than the first season. I feel like they're really finding their groove. the worst part of it really is Amy Schumer, and I feel awful saying that. I really, really, truly do, but she just doesn't work for me in this show at all. So anytime she's on screen, I get annoyed, and it kind of ruins that moment of the episode. That being said, overall, it's a very, very interesting, intriguing. I can't wait to see who it is. There's many intense, on the edge of your seat moments. There's lots of big reveals. Of course, there's lots of twists and turns, and things are just getting more and more and more entertaining. I have my theories. I have two people, a possible third. Those are my suspects in my head. I can't wait to see how it all plays out. You guys let me know if you are excited for Only Murders in the Building Season 2 down below in the comments. Did you guess last season? I don't want to say who it is, just in case some of you haven't even seen the first season yet, which if you haven't seen the first season, you've got time. Binge it. It's so good. But did you guys guess? Because it took me a long time to guess. I think I guessed around the 7th episode. So maybe I'm on the right track here with my number one suspect. We'll see. I'll find out, hopefully sooner than later. You guys can check me out at MamasGeeky.com. You can also check me out over on Instagram, Twitter, and yes, I'm now on TikTok. MamasGeeky, MamasGeeky on all of those platforms. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much to all my monetary supporters, my members, and my Patreons. Love you guys.